This list of birds of Yellowstone National Park includes every wild bird species reported in Yellowstone National Park in the last 50 years. Since its creation in March 1872, 318 species of birds have been documented in the park. Only birds that are considered to have established, self-sustaining, wild populations in Yellowstone are included on this list. This means that birds that are considered probable escapees, although they may have been sighted flying free in Yellowstone, are not included. This list is presented in taxonomic order and follows the checklist of North American birds published by the American Ornithologists Union. The family accounts at the beginning of each heading reflect this taxonomy, as do the species counts found in each family account. Legend. As listed in the checklist of the birds of Yellowstone National Park, I introduce species that are not native to North America, but were brought to this continent by humans. Breeders. Species known to have nested or produced dependent young in Yellowstone in recent years. Asterisk. Less than 20 documented records of this species exist in Yellowstone over the last 50 years. Plus, the Yellowstone Center for Resources welcomes additional information regarding this species. Neotropical migrants, birds known to spend the summer season in temperate North America and winter in the neotropics. Ducks, geese and swans. Order: Anseriformes family. Anatidae. The family Anatidae includes the ducks and most duck-like waterfowl, such as geese and swans. These birds are adapted to an aquatic existence with webbed feet, bills which are flat and to a greater or lesser extent, and feathers that are excellent at shedding water due to special oils. There are 35 Yellowstone species. Partridges, grouse, turkeys and quail. Order: Galliformes family. Phasianidae. Phasianidae consists of the pheasants and their allies. These are terrestrial species, variable in size but generally plump with broad relatively short wings. Many species of game birds have been domesticated as a food source for humans. There are 5 Yellowstone species. Loons. Order: Gaviiformes family. Gaviidae. Loons are aquatic birds the size of a large duck, to which they are unrelated. The plumage is largely gray or black, and they have spear-shaped bills. Loons swim well and fly adequately, but are almost hopeless on land, because the legs are placed towards the rear of the body. There are 3 Yellowstone species. Grebes. Order: Pedicipediiformes family. Pedicipedidae. Grebes are small to medium-large freshwater diving birds. They have lobed toes and are excellent swimmers and divers. However, they have the feet placed far back on the body, making them quite ungainly on land. There are 6 Yellowstone species. Cormorants. Order: Suliiformes family. Phalocrocoracidae. Cormorants are medium to large aquatic birds, usually with mainly dark plumage and areas of colored skin on the face. The bill is long, thin and sharply hooked. The feet are four-toed and webbed, a distinguishing feature among the Pelicaniformes order. There is 1 Yellowstone species. Pelicans. Order: Pelicaniformes family. Pelicanidae. Pelicans are very large water birds with a distinctive pouch under the beak. Like other birds in the order Pelicaniformes, they have 4 webbed toes. There is 1 Yellowstone species. Bitterns, herons and egrets. Order: Pelicaniformes family. Ardiidae. The family Ardiidae contains the herons, egrets and bitterns. Herons and egrets are medium to large wading birds with long necks and legs. Bitterns tend to be shorter-necked and more secretive. Members of Ardiidae fly with the necks retracted, unlike other long-necked birds such as storks, ibises and spoonbills. There are 8 Yellowstone species. Ibises and spoonbills. Order: Pelicaniformes family. Thrasciornithidae. The family Thrasciornithidae includes the ibises and spoonbills. They have long, broad wings. The bodies tend to be elongated, the neck more so, with rather long legs. The bill is also long, decurved in the case of the ibises, straight and distinctively flattened in the spoonbills. There are 2 Yellowstone species: storks, order Psychoniophames family. Psychoniidae storks are large, heavy, long-legged, long-necked wading birds with long stout bills and wide wingspans. They lack the powder down that other wading birds such as herons, spoonbills and ibises use to clean off fish slime. Storks lack a pharynx and are mute. There is 1 Yellowstone species: New World vultures, order Cathartophames family. Cathartidae. The New World vultures are not closely related to Old World vultures, but superficially resemble them because of convergent evolution. Like the Old World vultures, they are scavengers. However, unlike Old World vultures, which find carcasses by sight, New World vultures have a good sense of smell with which they locate carcasses. There is 1 Yellowstone species: osprey, order Accipitrophames family. Pandionidae. Hawks, kites and eagles, order Accipitrophames family. Accipitridae. Accipitridae is a family of birds of prey, which includes hawks, eagles, kites, harriers and Old World vultures. These birds have very large, powerful hooked beaks for tearing flesh from the prey, strong legs, powerful talons and keen eyesight. There are 13 Yellowstone species: Caracaras and falcons, order Falconiformes family. Falconidae. Falconidae is a family of diurnal birds of prey, notably the falcons and caracaras. They differ from hawks, eagles and kites in that they kill with the beaks instead of the talons. There are 5 Yellowstone species: rails, gallinules and coots, order Gruiformes family. Rallidae. Rallidae is a large family of small to medium-sized birds which includes the rails, crakes, coots and gallinules. The most typical family members occupy dense vegetation in damp environments near lakes, swamps or rivers. In general, they are shy and secretive birds, making them difficult to observe. Most species have strong legs and long toes which are well adapted to soft, uneven surfaces. They tend to have short, rounded wings and tend to be weak flyers. There are 4 Yellowstone species: cranes, order Gruiformes family. Gruidae. Cranes are large, long-legged and long-necked birds. Unlike the similar-looking but unrelated herons, cranes fly with necks outstretched, not pulled back. Most have elaborate and noisy courting displays or dances. There are 2 Yellowstone species: Lapwings and Plovers, order Charadriiformes family. Charadriidae. The family Charadriidae includes the plovers, dotterels and lapwings. They are small to medium-sized birds with compact bodies, short, thick necks and long, usually pointed wings. They are found in open country worldwide, mostly in habitats near water. There are 4 Yellowstone species: stilts and avocets, order Charadriiformes family. Recurvorostridae. Recurvorostridae is a family of large wading birds which includes the avocets and stilts. The avocets have long legs and long upcurved bills. The stilts have extremely long legs and long, thin, straight bills. There is 1 Yellowstone species: sandpipers, curlews, stints, godwits, snipes and phalaropes, order Charadriiformes family. Scolopecidae. Scolopecidae is a large, diverse family of small to medium-sized shorebirds, including the sandpipers, curlews, godwits, shanks, tattlers, woodcocks, snipes, durches and phalaropes. The majority of these species eat small invertebrates picked out of the mud or soil. Different lengths of legs and bills enable multiple species to feed in the same habitat, particularly on the coast, without direct competition for food. There are 23 Yellowstone species: gulls, terns and skimmers, order Charadriiformes family. Laridae. Laridae is a family of medium to large seabirds and includes jaegers, skuas, gulls, terns, kittiwakes and skimmers. They are typically gray or white, often with black markings on the head or wings. They have stout, longish bills and webbed feet. There are 13 Yellowstone species. Skuas. Order: Charadria family. Stercorariidae, auks, murre and puffins. Order: Charadria family. Alcidae. The family Alcidae includes auks, murre and puffins. These are short-winged birds that live on the open sea and normally only come ashore for breeding. There is one Yellowstone species. Pigeons and Doves. Order: Columbiiformes family. Columbidae. Pigeons and doves are stout-bodied birds with short necks and short slender bills with a fleshy cere. There are 3 Yellowstone species. Cuckoos, roadrunners and anis. Order: Cuculliiformes family. Cucullidae. The family Cucullidae includes cuckoos, roadrunners and anis. These birds are of variable size with slender bodies, long tails and strong legs. There is one Yellowstone species. Barn owls. Order: Strigiformes family. Titanidae. Barn owls are medium to large owls with large heads and characteristic heart-shaped faces. They have long, strong legs with powerful talons. There is one Yellowstone species. True owls. Order: Strigiformes family. Strigidae. Typical owls are small to large solitary nocturnal birds of prey. They have large forward-facing eyes and ears, a hawk-like beak and a conspicuous circle of feathers around each eye called the facial disc. There are 11 Yellowstone species. Nightjars. Order: Caprimulgiiformes family. Caprimulgidae. Nightjars are medium-sized nocturnal birds that usually nest on the ground. They have long wings, short legs and very short bills. Most have small feet, of little use for walking, and long pointed wings. The soft plumage is cryptically colored to resemble bark or leaves. There is one Yellowstone species. Swifts. Order: Apodiiformes family. Apodidae. The swifts are small birds which spend the majority of their lives flying. These birds have very short legs and never settle voluntarily on the ground, perching instead only on vertical surfaces. Many swifts have very long, swept-back wings which resemble a crescent or boomerang. There are 2 Yellowstone species. Hummingbirds. Order: Apodiiformes family. Trochilidae. Hummingbirds are small birds capable of hovering in mid-air due to the rapid flapping of the wings. They are the only birds that can fly backwards. There are 3 Yellowstone species. Kingfishers. Order: Coraciiformes family. Alcedonidae. Kingfishers are medium-sized birds with large heads, long, pointed bills, short legs and stubby tails. There is one Yellowstone species. Woodpeckers, sapsuckers and flickers. Order: Pisciformes family. Piscidae. Woodpeckers are small to medium-sized birds with chisel-like beaks, short legs, stiff tails and long tongues used for capturing insects. Some species have feet with 2 toes pointing forward and 2 backward, while several species have only 3 toes. Many woodpeckers have the habit of tapping noisily on tree trunks with the beaks. There are 13 Yellowstone species. Tyrant fly catches. Order: Passeriiformes family. Tyrannidae. Tyrant fly catchers are passerine birds which occur throughout North and South America. They superficially resemble the Old World flycatchers, but are more robust and have stronger bills. They do not have the sophisticated vocal capabilities of the songbirds. Most, but not all, are rather plain. As the name implies, most are insectivorous. There are 13 Yellowstone species. Shrikes. Order: Passeriiformes family. Laniidae. Shrikes are passerine birds known for the habit of catching other birds and small animals and impaling the uneaten portions of the bodies on thorns. A typical shrike's beak is hooked, like a bird of prey. There are two Yellowstone species, vireos, order Passeriformes family, Varianidae. The vireos are a group of small to medium-sized passerine birds restricted to the New World. They are typically greenish in color and resemble wood warblers apart from the heavier bills. There are 5 Yellowstone species: jays, crows, magpies and ravens. Order Passeriformes family, Corvidae. The family Corvidae includes crows, ravens, jays, choughs, magpies, treepies, nutcrackers and ground jays. Corvids are above average in size among the Passeriformes, and some of the largest species show high levels of intelligence. There are 8 Yellowstone species: larks, order Passeriformes family, Alaudidae. Larks are small terrestrial birds with often extravagant songs and display flights. Most larks are fairly dull in appearance. The food is insects and seeds. There is 1 Yellowstone species: swallows and martins, order Passeriformes family, Hirundinidae. The family Hirundinidae is adapted to aerial feeding. They have a slender streamlined body, long pointed wings and a short bill with a wide gait. The feet are adapted to perching rather than walking, and the front toes are partially joined at the base. There are 6 Yellowstone species: chickadees and titmice, order Passeriformes family, Parrotidae. The Parrotidae are mainly small stocky woodland species with short stout bills. Some have crests. They are adaptable birds with a mixed diet including seeds and insects. There are 2 Yellowstone species: nuthatches, order Passeriformes family, Citidae. Nuthatches are small woodland birds. They have the unusual ability to climb down trees head first, unlike other birds which can only go upwards. Nuthatches have big heads, short tails and powerful bills and feet. There are 3 Yellowstone species: creepers, order Passeriformes family, Certhiidae. Creepers are small woodland birds, brown above and white below. They have thin pointed down curved bills, which they use to extricate insects from bark. They have stiff tail feathers, like woodpeckers, which they use to support themselves on vertical trees. There is 1 Yellowstone species: wrens, order Passeriformes family, Troglodytidae. Wrens are small and inconspicuous birds, except for the loud songs. They have short wings and thin downturned bills. Several species often hold their tails upright. All are insectivorous. There are 6 Yellowstone species: dippers, order Passeriformes family, Cinclidae. Dippers are small, stout birds that feed in cold, fast-moving streams. There is 1 Yellowstone species: kinglets, order Passeriformes family, Regulidae. The kinglets are a small family of birds which resemble the titmice. They are very small insectivorous birds in the genus Regulus. The adults have colored crowns, giving rise to the names. There are 2 Yellowstone species: gnatcatchers, order Passeriformes family, Polioptilidae. Thrushes, order Passeriformes family, Turdidae. The thrushes are a group of passerine birds that occur mainly but not exclusively in the Old World. They are plump, soft-plumaged, small to medium-sized insectivores or sometimes omnivores, are often feeding on the ground. Many have attractive songs. There are 8 Yellowstone species: mockingbirds and thrushes, order Passeriformes family, Mimidae. The mimids are a family of passerine birds which includes thrushes, mockingbirds, tremblers and the New World catbirds. These birds are notable for the vocalization, especially the remarkable ability to mimic a wide variety of birds and other sounds heard outdoors. The species tend towards dull grays and browns in their appearance. There are 4 Yellowstone species: starlings, order Passeriformes family, Sternidae. Starlings are small to medium-sized passerine birds. They are medium-sized passerines with strong feet. The flight is strong and direct and they are very gregarious. The preferred habitat is fairly open country, and they eat insects and fruit. Plumage is typically dark with a metallic sheen. There is one Yellowstone species, wagtails and pipits. Order: Passeriformes family. Motacillidae. Motacillidae is a family of small passerine birds with medium to long tails. They include the wagtails, long claws and pipits. They are slender, ground-feeding insectivores of open country. There are two Yellowstone species, waxwings. Order: Passeriformes family. Bombicillidae. The waxwings are a group of passerine birds with soft, silky plumage and unique red tips to some of the wing feathers. In the Bohemian and cedar waxwings, these tips look like sealing wax and give the group its name. These are arboreal birds of northern forests. They live on insects in summer and berries in winter. There is one Yellowstone species, Silky Fly Catches. Order: Passeriformes family. Tiliagonetidae. The silky fly catches are a small family of passerine birds. The family is named for the silky plumage and their aerial fly-catching techniques. They occur mainly in Central America from Panama to Mexico, with one species, the Phanopepla, extending northwards into the southwestern USA. They are mostly sedentary, but the Phanopepla is migratory over the northern part of its range. Wood warblers. Order: Passeriformes family. Paralidae. The wood warblers are a group of small, often colorful passerine birds restricted to the New World. Most are arboreal, but some, like the ovenbird and the two water thrushes, are more terrestrial. Most members of this family are insectivores. There are 23 Yellowstone species, long spurs and snow buntings. Order: Passeriformes family. Calcareidae. American sparrows, towhees and juncos. Order: Passeriformes family. Emberizidae. Emberizidae is a large family of passerine birds. They are seed-eating birds with distinctively shaped bills. In Europe, most species are called buntings. In North America, most of the species in this family are known as sparrows, but these birds are not closely related to the Old World sparrows, which are in the family Passeridae. Many Emberizid species have distinctive head patterns. There are 23 Yellowstone species, Cardinals and Grosbeaks. Order: Passeriformes family. Cardinalidae. The cardinals are a family of robust, seed-eating birds with strong bills. They are typically associated with open woodland. The sexes usually have distinct plumages. There are 6 Yellowstone species, Icterides. Order: Passeriformes family. Icteridae. The Icterides are a group of small to medium-sized, often colorful passerine birds restricted to the New World and include the grackles, New World blackbirds and New World orioles. Most species have black as a predominant plumage color, often enlivened by yellow, orange or red. There are 9 Yellowstone species, Fringilla and Finches, Cardinals, Finches and allies. Order: Passeriformes family. Fringillidae. Finches are seed-eating passerine birds that are small to moderately large and have a strong beak, usually conical and in some species very large. All have 12 tail feathers and 9 primaries. These birds have a bouncing flight with alternating bouts of flapping and gliding on closed wings, and most sing well. There are 12 Yellowstone species, Old World sparrows. Order: Passeriformes family. Passeridae. Old World sparrows are small passerine birds. In general, sparrows tend to be small plum, brownish or grayish birds with short tails and short, powerful beaks. Sparrows are seed-eaters, but they also consume small insects. There is one Yellowstone species,